Yes. One.
Headmaster,
Oh, Doris, I wasn't playing. I was just testing it. I like to make sure when I return a confiscated article that it's in perfect working condition.
Oh, how thoughtful.
Yes. Well, now, are you seeing me or am I seeing you?
I'm seeing you.
Ah.
I just came to warn you that 5C are watching school's television this period.
How very kind and considerate, but why warn?
Well, the noise. It's bad enough normally with Mr. Hedges and 5C trying to outshout one another. But when one adds television trying to outshout both of them, one fears for one's eardrums.
Oh, yes, I get headaches, don't I?
Most sensitive people do.
How do I usually cope with them?
Well, you usually play Mr. Smith at chess in the staff room.
Oh, yes, of course I do, yes. No, Doris, barrier. I'm not speaking to Mr. Smith, and I'm certainly not going to play chess with him.
Well, that's why I bought these.
Oh, Doris, you make me think of oysters.
Pardon?
You're a pearl.
Oh, Morris.
What are they, some sort of sedative jujube?
Oh, no, Headmaster. Wax earplugs.
And so, unless we plan ahead and devote more time, money and effort to the preservation of wildlife, there will come a time when the migration of the great game herds will be only a story that we tell our children. The future of these animals, and that of some species already in danger of extinction, is in your hands. Goodbye.
Well, it's the first time for everything, I suppose. You were actually interested in that programme, weren't you?
Oh, it was terrific, wasn't it?
I didn't like it when that elephant got poached.
Yes, and her poor little son got orphaned.
Was it a son? I didn't notice him underneath.
Well, he looked like a son, didn't he, sir?
Round the eyes, yes, he did, Laura.
Just to have her tusks away for ivory. Puts you right off snooker, doesn't it?
I'd say the elephants was all right if I was out there.
I probably hate myself for asking, Abbott, but what would you do?
Pull all the poacher's teeth out.
Well, that's a tooth for a tooth. Now, that's barbaric, isn't it?
Ah, so is killing animals just for souvenirs. It's bloody outrageous.
When he looked at his mother lying there, his little face.
I swear he was sobbing his little heart out.
Yes, well, let's not try and get too emotionally involved. What I want to hear are your practical suggestions.
I told you, pull the poacher's teeth out.
Apart from penal dentistry, Abbott. Yes, Dennis.
Why should people want to poach rhinoceroses' horns?
Well, Dennis, a long time ago, it was felt that
They
rhinoceroses...
use them for aphrodisiacs, Dennis.
Oh.
Thank you, Sharon. Well, now, poaching is, of course, revolting.
And his little trunk went all limp.
But let us try and consider animal conservation in broader terms. For instance, how are we going to balance their survival against the increasing rate of civilization?
No, I don't know the answer to that. What is it, Chief?
Well, I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh, well, leave it with me. I'll have a think. Please, sir.
Yes, Dennis.
What is an aphrodisiac?
Well, Dennis, an aphrodisiac is... Well, strictly speaking, Dennis, there is no such thing as an aphrodisiac.
If there was, what would it be?
Well, it would be like a course of vitamins, only more powerful.
More interesting, too.
A fun.
Thank God. Yes, what have you thought, sir?
Well, I don't claim that she's going to conserve all your animals, but what about having a weekly whip round to help out the authorities?
Oh, yes.
You know, Duffy, inside you is a very nice young man. Now, why don't you let him get a look in more often?
Yeah, it's long holidays, isn't it?
Please, sir.
Yeah, we're finished with the aphrodisiacs, Dennis.
No, this money. Couldn't we send to Africa and buy an animal so that no one could touch him?
Yeah, a gorilla.
Yeah, we've got one of those, haven't we? Dennis, that's a very, very nice idea, but hardly practical, I think. However, there are certain zoos over here that allow you to adopt an animal, and then there are the societies for the preservation of wildlife.
We could have a bush baby. Oh, yeah, I love them.
Or a black panther.
Now, just a minute.
No, we're on that first one, that adopting caper. We want to do that.
Right, how do we start?
Well, you start by... I don't know.
Goes through you like a knife, doesn't it? Gets our childish little minds all excited and then bang, you don't know.
All right, I'll look up the details for you. But in the meantime, Mr. Edwards, please don't forget the naked ape.
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Fantastic. Mile of the century. Must be a world record.
Don't satirize me.
Well, don't come bursting into my classroom then.
Well, I have to when that television set has been in here for 3 minutes and 47 seconds exactly.
There is an answer.
Which would be?
Now you're in. Check it out. Thank you, 5C. You ought to bring your other selves more often.
Oh, I never had all this when I was at school, you know. Lounging about, watching television. Oh, why, I never even had a back to my seat.
Oh, so hanging out your trousers, was it?
No back to my bench, filthy.
Go to break, sure.
Just a moment. No one is leaving here until I've assisted with the temporary transfer of my apparatus.
Uncle Norman, you only had your arm.
Yes, well, get on with it and watch its spirit delicate. Mind how you move it.
Go!
That was marvellous, Price. Those kids were so involved. They were so engrossed.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, for instance, when I asked them if they were enjoying the programme, they even told me to shut up. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, yeah?
I say, Price, old man, I do wish you'd listen.
Why is it that my ear always spawns a plague of fifth-rate music hall jokes?
I'm sorry, I thought that was quite inventive.
Well, leave him alone or he'll go deaf. This ear is my ear.
Oh, Price.
Well, I'm allowed to. It's mine.
But if they can adopt an animal...
Oh, well, God help the animal, I says.
I'd have thought you'd have been interested in this as a biologist of no note whatsoever.
Oh, well, I suppose anything that stimulates an interest in the animal world can't be all that bad.
Splendid news, Hedges. I've just telephoned my friends in the Zoological Society, and your animal adoption idea is perfectly feasible.
Marvellous.
However, there are certain conditions.
I've got to spend 6 months in quarantine.
What? No, don't be silly. No, it's simply that the larger municipal zoos have discontinued the practice. But some of the private zoos, which they welcome financial assistance, and I have the name of just such a one in Suffolk.
I know one in Fen Street.
Oh, shut up, Morbid.
Would you like me to arrange the particular adoption by 5C?
Marvellous, and thanks very much for all your help, Smithy.
I say the telephone, as I recall, is in the headmaster's study. Why did you wear your Mac just to walk down the corridor?
I went to a public telephone box. As the headmaster and I are not speaking, I would most certainly not ask to borrow his instrument.
Now, look, why don't you two just shake little wiggies and make up, eh?
Certainly not. The onus is on him to extend his little wiggy first. Say, look at that.
Oh, God, here they come. Go on, boy, off.
I say, you fellows, what's this here?
Kent Street School. Zoo. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, how splendid. The children will be pleased. What's it called? Jerboa. Yes, I've got that. Thank you so much. Goodbye. That was the zoo. 5C have officially adopted a Jerboa.
Oh, good. That's the little chap that... What is a Jerboa, Doris?
Do you know, I can place the name, but not the face. I'll go and tell Mr. Hedges anyway.
And I'll ring up the chairman of the governors and tell him about it. Hedges deserves all the credit, and I'm going to see that he gets it.
Oh, how generous, headmaster.
Mr. Bannister? Yes, Cromwell here. Good morning, sir. I've just inaugurated a splendid scheme for our 5C. Yes, they're adopting an animal.
Come on, Marconi, we want to watch our nature programme.
For your information, Sonny, the asphyxiation of a 112S valve into its socket cannot be hurried.
Niggers, you could have built another ship on that.
Oh, dear. And that's the only valve I've got left.
Sit down, or I won't let you take your GCEs. All right, now, you were all officially foster parents to an animal. And it is a Jerboa. Now, why did you particularly want a Jerboa?
Well, see, we found out...
We found out that it was just a little animal, you see.
Yeah. Well, look, well, what are they?
Oh, and he's the teacher.
Well, do you know?
Well, of course I do. I happen to have been in contact, you know, with nature in the raw.
Ooh, chilly.
So, what is a Jerboa, then?
Oh, yes. Well, it's an animal.
All right. For the two of us who don't know what a Jerboa is, Mr. Potter, it's Latin, jaculus. You've been humorous again, haven't you?
Well, come on. What is it?
It's a desert rat.
Thank you. That's my emblem, That's my emblem.
Listen, Bryce, I couldn't borrow your whistle, could I? I'm on playground duty and my pea seems to have disintegrated.
There you are, Pa.
You've been taking that LSD again, haven't you?
It's your class.
Oh, hell, what have they smashed this time?
Nothing. Oh, it isn't natural. I mean, they spent the whole of the time just sitting there, like children. And they performed mystic rites like holding up their hands and calling me sir.
I think you need a pick-me-up, Price, eh? Usual.
Aye.
Which one was the vodka?
Hydrochloric acid. Whoop. Whoop.
I told you it would work, Price. My methods are paying off in the end.
Ah, don't you delude yourself. It's that magic beast up there. Bless his jugular anastomosis.
And his little Bernie Winter's teeth.
Well, by all, Cymru am byth.
And may your chemicals never be analysed.
Hey, G-Zins, he don't need a little coat.
He's our responsibility, Eric, and I'm not having him getting a cold in the winter. Anyway, you look sweet, like a little Walt Disney thing.
Well, thank God we never adopted an elephant. You understand women, Dean?
Do you?
No.
I don't either.
All right, you lot, come on. Outside, get some traffic fumes down your lungs.
Sorry, Chick, we was just discussing our Jerboa's wardrobe.
Well, how on earth did you know his measurements, Maureen?
I didn't. I just looked at him and guessed.
You looked at him?
Oh, we didn't tell you, did we? We all shot down there and sunned him in Brother Monty's van.
Great.
Oh, well, of course, yes, that's a natural thing to do. All shoot down to Suffolk.
It's now keep animals nice down there.
Have a stroll round, is you?
Oh, yeah. I don't mind. Ah. Isn't it nice, those two?
Yeah.
Mr. Fazakli let me give our Jerboa his dinner.
Ah, he's the owner of the zoo, is he?
Yeah, him and his wife Estelle. Very nice class of person, too.
Oh, I should expect they would be, Maureen, yes. You took tea, of course.
Yeah, and we had napkins with rings on.
They're going to put this brass plate on the cage saying how we're helping. They even let us think up his little name.
No, don't tell me. You're going to call him Bernard or something. No, just Privet.
No, Norman.
Norman. That's Potter's name, isn't it?
Oi, you! Stop defacing my walls.
It worked, mate. I was just rubbing it out, weren't I?
You should be in the infant, Sonny. Can't even spell, can you? N-O-R. What am I doing?
Self-portrait, Uncle Norman.
Go on, get out of here.
I don't know. I think I've got a jinx on whistles, Smithy. I think I've busted prices now.
I think it's because they've stopped using natural peas.
Well done, Hedges, well done. You're out in front, that's you.
Not anymore, sir. Not since I've been sportsmaster. I've lost a couple of pounds, in fact.
No, out in front, ahead of most of the staff. Yes, your animal scheme, Hedges. The governors are delighted. I gave you full credit for it.
I'm sure you did, Headmaster. Tea, Hedges?
Oh, thanks, Smithy. Are you having a cup, sir?
I really don't know.
Well, neither do I.
I don't even want to be sportsmaster, sir. Now, why doesn't Smithy take the job back?
I haven't been asked, Hedges.
Oh, I think you would give me a cup of tea and all. The fury all you've caused.
No, Potter, that's not your usual self. Where's your usual sunny nature?
Well, I've still got it, sir. It's just that I'm doing my nut about an outbreak of rats in the school that he caused.
Not real rats, they're desert rats. You see, that's the animal my class has adopted.
Knowing full well it's my old divisional flash, sir. Why, he's blasphemy.
Ah, Doris, just the person. Oil on troubled waters, if you please. There seems to be some sort of impasse over Norman.
Not the hairy Norman, the fairy Norman. The furry Norman.
I'm afraid that's rather ironic, Headmaster. I've just had the zoo on the telephone. I'm sorry, Mr. Hedges, but 5C's Jerboa has just passed away.
Oh, no.
Oh, my dear fellow, I am so sorry.
Now then, don't let this make you lash out at life, Hedges. Remember the summer land that awaits us all.
Well, that's very kind. Just a minute. It's 5C who are going to be more upset than me. I mean, I think I'd better warn you that they might react. I'm very sorry about it, of course, but he wasn't one of my relatives.
No. But he was one of mine.
Are you sure you wouldn't like us to have 2 minutes silence?
Perhaps 15 seconds for an animal, I don't know.
Oh, don't be melodramatic.
Yeah, it was all right for you, Miss Yules, it didn't? I mean, your shoulder flash hasn't just died, has it?
I think I'll get back to my class before Potter starts whistling the last post.
Oh, dear, this is jolly. Somebody died?
Yes, Norman.
Hasty diagnosis, he was only in a coma.
The headmaster was referring to 5C's Jerboa, Mr. Price.
Oh, do not.
You'd say you were in the 8th Army as well.
Oh, no.
And we've all thought of Price as a cynical chap, and yet he can grieve over the death of a little creature.
Ah, because it means the death of my peaceful biology lesson with 5C. Oh, well, where's that bloody hydrochloric acid?
I was going to embroider his little name on this as well.
Well, the zoo will get another animal, Maureen. Norman the Second.
No, I like Norman the First.
This wouldn't have happened if we'd had a Black Panther.
Panthers die as well, Abbott. That's life.
That's death, if you ask me.
Why did it have to happen to our little thing? We only had him a few days.
You never gave him none of them sweets you had, did you, Abbott?
No, Eric, you know me. I always eat them all myself.
Put him down and sit down, Duffy.
Well, somebody's done something, ain't they?
Why do you always have to blame somebody? Now, why can't it just be a natural occurrence?
Like an act of God. Perhaps he called Norman unto him in heaven.
Well, he better give him his dinner properly.
I'm sure he will, Dennis, and his tea.
Can he trust us to feed him or something?
Yeah, well, anyway, this has finished me with animals. The only money I'm putting on them from now on is the greyhounds at Catford.
I don't see why you're so easily discouraged. What about the animals in wildlife now? That's how all this began.
We can't go to Africa to see them like we did to Mr. Fazakalis in Monty's van.
But do you have to see the animals, Dennis? Isn't it enough to know that you're helping?
Quite frankly, no.
Well, apart from having your own private game reserve in the playground, I don't see what else you can do.
Oh, don't get the ump, sir.
I'm not getting the hump, Maureen.
Look, how about backing this idea 2 ways?
Now we're back to Catford again.
No, look, we burnt half our goat on the new little Norman and the other half on the game reserve. It's like Wynnum Place, really.
Yeah, that's the neatest.
Well, that's good thinking, Duffy. All of you. I promise you I'll do all I can to foster this new interest in animals.
What, like taking us on an outing to London Zoo?
Yeah! Well, I'm not so sure about that.
I see. Tricked again.
I think I'm the one who's been tricked, Sharon.
But you will take us, eh?
Yes, all right.
Just as well, sunshine. I said I hope it stays fine, sir.
Look, wait. Wait a minute.
Come on, everybody, sort yourselves out. Get on the coach.
It's been a lovely day, hasn't it, sir?
Yes, unforgettable, Maureen.
Aren't you glad you're awakening our interest in animals? too?
Thrilled. Now get on the blasted coach. Tomorrow.
Go on, Abbott.
Everybody here?
Yeah, they should have kept you there, shouldn't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
12, 14.
Where's Tim? Where's Tim?
Oh, he's just coming, Chief.
Dennis. What are you doing? Take him back.
Oh, no, he's
You can't bring animals out. I don't think it's particularly funny. All right,
Please, take him. No.